Male Megwa, y'all. I am New the Night of Day, and I'm coming at you with new news with Nuatu. Today on New News, we're breaking down body fat percentage. So, if you guys are new to your fitness journey, or even if you've been doing it for a while, notice your body fat percentage is the percentage of your body that is fat. Fat is one cell, okay? So to get rid of it, we can't spot remove it, so you're not gonna get abs by not getting lean everywhere else. In fact, you're not going to get abs by doing crunches. What you're going to do by doing crunches is make sure that your ab muscles, your abdominals, are getting bigger so that they're easier to see. This leads me to my first point. If you want to lose body fat percentage, then what you can do is gain muscle, because when you gain muscle, the percentage of your body and your weight that is fat now goes down, because the percentage of muscle that you have is now going up, even if the actual amount of body fat on you doesn't change. So that's an important thing to note. Another thing is, if you're just starting out, you're a little overweight, you should try to start eating 0.8 grams to 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight. You should be lifting, maybe not compounds right away. I always suggest that you start on the machines. Look at the pictures on the machine, watch some videos about form, and try to place your mind inside that muscle that you're working and really just make sure it's doing all the work. Really isolate those muscles. This is going to help you a lot on your journey to doing free weights and cables and stuff, where you need to make sure that you are isolating the muscle yourself. Machines do a great job of isolating the muscle for you. The reason why I'd say put on that muscle first is because, especially if you're new to the gym, trying to gain muscle will help you burn that body fat. If you just do cardio, you're just going to shrink down into a smaller version of yourself, and you're not going to get that toned look. So try to keep your reps somewhat heavy, between 8 to 12, but make sure that you can control it. So do something that you think is pretty heavy, maybe go down 5 pounds from there and really control your reps. What do I mean by control? I mean feel the full squeeze of the muscle that you're working. I mean feel the full stretch of the muscle that you're working. These are the two components of working out well. Also, if you're a little bit on the heftier side, gaining muscle and all that muscle underneath is going to be easier to put on than if you were to cut all the way down to, say, something like sub 10, sub 15% body fat. It's a lot tougher to then gain that muscle back. Appetite's less, your metabolism grows as you put on mass, and the more mass that you have, especially the more muscle tissue that you have. So it's going to be easier to eat as well, the bigger that you are. And so getting in that much protein is just going to be easier. What's nice too is if you're not doing this competitively, the best thing that you can do is to get that muscle mass up. Go on a cut where you're cutting maybe 500 calories off, but keeping your protein up to still about 1 gram per pound of body weight that you have. Or maybe even, say you're at 200 pounds and you want to be 170, going to 170 grams of protein, staying there, and staying somewhere below 2,000 is usually a good calorie amount. And then from there, when you get as lean as you want to be while maintaining that muscle, you can maintain that weight a lot easier. It's harder to bulk, it's harder to cut, it's a lot easier to stay exactly where you are. And so once you do the hard work up front, then it'll be a lot easier to maintain it from there. The last thing I want to say too, wait, I had something, hold on, give me a second. When you're on your cut phase, if it's hard to stay in a calorie deficit every day, so that means, it's really tough to stay around 1,800 calories or whatever it is that you're burning a day. I wouldn't go too much lower than 1,800, especially if you're a little bit more burly. I really wouldn't, because you can still get the same effect, and I would say it's more about trying to get stronger and feel better, and so we don't need an extreme deficit. That being said, what you can do is you can eat in a surplus. You can be at like 2,500 calories for each day that you're training, or even 6 days a week, and you can do a 24-hour water fast. Now, this will make sure that you are feeding your muscles the way that they need to be fed during your training, and then throughout the week, you have still a calorie deficit, so you're still burning that fat. The first thing to get lost whenever you are going into a fast is your body fat, and as well as dead cells, things like that, because your body is adapted over time to go for long periods of time without eating while still maintaining what is important to it, thanks to evolution. So you're never going to lose muscle first. You might lose a little bit, but a new study just came out and it showed that if you fast 1 day a week and you're in a surplus every other day versus being in deficit every day, you actually lose about 10% more muscle during your cut being in a deficit every day, which means you're eating less calories than you're burning, and you hold on to about 10% more muscle, so you only lose about 5% muscle, 95% body fat. And the great thing is they both lost the same amount of weight. So this truly shows us that you'll get there either way, but you might hold on to just a little bit more, 10% more muscle. That makes a big difference in your overall look of being toned. And then, like I said, you put in the hard work up front. Promise you guys, 6 months. And 6 months seems like a lot, but if you get rolling, first month's gonna be tough. Second month's gonna feel like you're jogging. Third month, you're really gonna start to get into the swing of it. Those last 3 months, it's like customization. You know, you start to change up your split, you start to realize what foods you like, all this kind of stuff. It starts to snowball on top of each other. So really try your best to get after it and don't burn out. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. That's why I bring up the 6 months, but understand that in pacing yourself, you're going to build up speed as well, and you're going to be able to move at a faster pace the more you go, especially if you're in your first year or two of lifting. Mala, y'all, this is Editor New, and I just wanted to bring up the point that, yes, 6 months is a long time, but when you think about it, you're going to want to be working out probably for the rest of your life. Let's be honest. We want to be active. We want to be healthy forever. And so when you think about the timeline, don't think about, oh, how long is 3 or 6 months, you know, or even a year, 2 years. It's like, this is something that you're going to want to be doing, being healthy, fit, and active until you can no longer do that. And so take advantage of it and don't think about the time as such a daunting thing. For experienced lifters, this can still work too. If these are things that you're not doing, remember, we want to shock the muscle. We want to switch it up. So go ahead and try different changes and different avenues to get where you need to go. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, I'm proud of you. I love you. I trust you. Keep being your best self. And as always, God bless. Well, love, y'all guide, be new, or whatever you want to be. And thank you for tuning in to this video.